Hey everybody, welcome to TAAN TV, the African American Network. We have a local feel, global reach. I am T-Rex, and I'm trying to get my foot around the cable. We got Big Bank at the top. We got that beautiful big leg woman over there in them shorts all the time, Denise. We got our sweet little innocent thing back. Hey Vonda, how's everybody doing?
Hey, everybody. Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back. That's a Mother's Day gift. She got to go see her mama. That is the true blessing. So ain't nobody gonna complain about that. We wish we all, I know at least two of us on here, maybe all of us wish we could have seen our mom on that day. But unfortunately, we have to deal with that one other time. We hopefully we'll see them again. Anyway, today we're gonna talk about worth. We don't want to know your personal worth. That is not the issue. Anything we say or do is not toward anybody else. It's just research. Okay, I want y'all to know that right off the bat because they'll be eating me up. I want y'all to know it's about research because I'll be talking to a lot of people about this and trying to figure out. So it's not your own worth, it's what you think when you sit in the group with your friends. I know the ladies do this all the time. Henry, we probably don't do it. I talked to a couple of guys at the gym and a few other places when I was out and try to understand what they thought their worth was so I could have some kind of conversation and not just come on here and blab off like I knew what I was talking about. But anyway, that's what it is. So the first thing we're gonna talk about, I'm gonna ask the ladies a question. When you look at a man, how do you judge a man's worth? Not you personally, your girlfriends.
Well,
Oh,
I
both of
judge
y'all.
him by the character,
Okay.
the way he carries himself. Um,
Yeah.
is he family oriented? Um, Father, if he's a father, is he a good, does he take care of his children? If he's with the family or divorced or whatever. Uh, is he, is his career? Has he got a good career or is he working towards the goals? Um, that's as a man's worth.
Okay, that makes sense. Vonda.
Yeah, I agree with everything Denise said. She's kind of covered it all. But yeah, I also look at family values, maybe how they were raised, how they interact with their female siblings, if they have any, or how they treat their mother. Um
Mhm.
and things of that nature. Just the overall and also I look at intelligence as well, and how they carry themselves as men, as a man.
Oh, okay.
And their teeth.
I bought me some new ones over the weekend. Ah, Henry, same question to you. You look at your homeboys. What do y'all think when y'all look at each other? How do men rate their wealth at not their wealth, their worth, as in uh I don't want to say sex appeal yet because the second question, once we go through this, after we get to the initial stuff, I'll put titles in front of them. So just a male's worth, how do you do it?
Well, well, I think the question that you raised them to them is their worth how they look at the man. So you're not saying
Right.
how the man looks at the female, right?
Right. How you look at your fellas. Not in the messed up way, but in the just a judgmental way that because we rank
Okay,
ourselves against our peers sometimes. So that's what I was trying to
okay.
get to.
Well, when I'm talking to another guy, man, really and truly, and I'm an older guy, but conversation rules the nation. So you
Mm-hmm.
can, by the way that person talks, you can tell if he's full of whatever or if he's real.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that within 5 minutes. I can tell that within 5 minutes of how that person is, if he's full of stuff or if he's real. But you never judge a person by the outward appearance they are. You got to get to know them and understand them too. And the conversation is just the first piece because it opens the door. And when you go inside that door with that guy, then you can you can tell a great deal about him.
I agree. And I agree with all y'all. I was summing up to what everybody said is his character. His
Right.
character. That's how I feel. I don't want to be when I'm out and we're in a group and somebody's not there, and if somebody bring up something negative about them, I think that person has a pretty poor character. That person that brought that up, because he didn't give that gentleman time to defend himself. So that's how I see it. We got Laura said hi to everybody. She's watching. And
Hey, Laura.
Denise, I'm waiting on you in the background. Okay, well, Denise is here. I don't know where that came
No,
from.
that was earlier.
No.
That was earlier.
Hey, I was just trying to impress people that I could read in case they wanted to find out my worth. I wanted to make sure that they
No, my.
But
anyway.
Terry, we know that you can read, and we determine that's a good worth. But what is your FICO score?
Oh my. No.
So I just a quick question. I paid off all my little credit cards and all that crap. And I have a pretty decent FICO score. Man, it went to the maximum after I paid off the little bitty credit cards. I was shocked. I was, as they would say, I was appalled, but I was happy. Anyway, so with that being said, that's my credit score. Whatever you want to call that, that's what. If the highest number is a 1, I got a 1. But when I look now, my second question is, when you're in the same group, but you're talking to your friends, how do you work? How do you rank? I don't want to say that. How do you determine a worth of a friend or a foe? Either way, just another female, or for me and you, Henry, a female. We'll start with you, Henry, since I started the ladies on that one last, and we'll go then they can to us.
Well, I don't really have a whole lot of female friends, um, um, because people tend to think, or maybe it's the category that I run in. They mistake your kindness for other intentions. And
Okay.
me being a married man, um, man, and I would never do anything to upset my home. Been married 36 years to my lovely wife, Brenda, and she's my all in all. She's my ride or die, dude. But as far as friends, to kick it like a female friend, I don't have that many. I don't. I have associates, but that's it. We'll talk and say, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" But not as a true friend. I don't know. That may be bad on my part. Where I'm not saying that men and women can't be friends, but I just don't have a lot of women because sometimes women can be messy. I'm not saying that they are, and how men can be messy is what Denise and Vonda would say, but women can be just as messy as men can be in certain things. So I try to avoid those situations.
Well, now I'm a little different than Henry. That's probably because I don't have a wife. But when I'm sitting there and I'm observing women and listening to them conversate, I apply what I would apply to a male as far as their worth. Are they they care one thing. We won't go into other things till later, but I think if she has great character, it doesn't matter. I'm going to say this, and because I know somebody's out there talking about it. It doesn't matter if they have a high number or low number. It just matters that has a good character and she's a good person. That's how. So I give people off their character, just friends, not anything else. Just that as far as character, as how I judge women uh, on what their worth is, in my opinion. I'll go to it next. All right, Vonda. We'll go backwards. We'll start with you, then we hit Denise, then we'll go to the good questions, these nasty ones.
Mm-mm.
So you're asking. Well, I guess I was listening to Henry and you, and I lost track of what's the question or the
We
comment?
just want to know, when you sitting down, like you thought about men, The same thing you
Mhm.
think about. I'm not saying your friends in your little group, but like when you're at
Mhm.
work or out to dinner and you see somebody, how do you judge somebody else's another female's worth? Laura said integrity. Integrity is really huge.
Mhm.
We got Felicia watching, we got Laura watching. I thought somebody else came on, but I haven't seen them yet. So,
Um, you know, I try to be discernful about things and people. But if that person is like I think someone else mentioned, if a person is genuine, you can basically tell a lot of
mhm.
times, if a person is genuine. And I look if they're messy or like you said before, if they're talking about other people and trying to carry gossip and all that, and just look at their overall the overall way they interact with people, because you have some people that just have attitudes or always offended about something, and I kind of watch those to try to tell how a person's character or a person's character tells a lot about their worth, to not trying to judge folks, but you know
Okay, that makes sense. Denise.
Yeah, it's basically the same. Just what she said. Just the overall person, personality, how they engage with others, or their family, how they act with their family.
Hmm.
Like if the vice versa, do they have a good interaction with their father? Just
Oh, okay.
different from the other from the female. They
Hmm.
have from the mother. If they have a good relationship with their father, the sons, and the daughters especially, how they treat their daughters. Just the overall characteristics, of a man, what they should be demonstrating.
Denise,
That's
I think you make a real good point there because 9 times out of 10, if a young man is going to have a relationship with his mom and treat his mom the right way, you know what I'm saying? He'll treat you the right way as well, or his
hmm
sister. I know I've heard my wife say that a lot, and that is true. I found that out to be true. Because you don't want anybody to mistreat your mom or your sister. So you're gonna be straight up with that person that you're dealing with there as well.
okay. All right. So I guess my second question, and I'm not offending anybody. I hope. Uh, in your own opinion, what's up, Nuke Manuel's watching? In your own opinion, what does worth when you're talking about a person, male or female? When you talk about that person's worth, are you talking about? Because worth basically means your character, your mental stability. That's your part of your worth, and it's and we talked about a lot of things in this quick first question, but we never brought up yo. We never brought up any about with the finances. So when I ask this question, I want to know when you look at an opposite sex or when you had your conversation, because I talked to women, male and females, about this question, and we lost Henry. What do you think when you ask the question? He's back about the worth. Now that we understand what we're looking for, I'm not trying to get you to gauge somebody or anything. I'm not trying to say, you know, whatever, because I just want your honest opinion. What do you think it means when you look at a man or a woman? You can pick either way. What's up, Valencia? She's watching. Hopefully, she ain't pulling nobody's teeth out, but she's watching. But
you should do yours. You say you got a new set this week.
I was in Memphis last week after the show earlier this week. I swung by our office and
You
she hooked
swung
the
by
brother up with
office.
some new.
Okay. She
Yeah,
did
I
you
swung by.
good.
We got some
Did
new
you right.
guns.
Go Valencia.
There you go. There you go.
She said, "Hey," but I'll start it off. So maybe by me starting off, I get a better idea of what you were talking about. What I'm talking about. I'm sorry. When I look at a fella, and I understand fellas, I put them in different categories. I have the young fellas. We'll go up to maybe 30, 35. Then from 35 to 55, those are middle-aged fellas, because at that age, most people have kids and they start doing it. And she said she's not thinking about work. Valencia said that. Thank you for the new teeth, girl. No, I'm just playing. She put them in the mail and they came out here. I take them out.
Oh, don't, please don't.
Anyway, so I look at, when I look at a fella, and especially the older senior guys, which I'm in the group, when I look at their worth as just a person evaluating them, I look at those two things. I look at their personal character and financial status. You know, because one guy, and y'all can help me with this, he said that young ladies, when he said young ladies, he was like, he's my age, and he said young ladies are the ones that hit on him the most. So my question to him was, how old are the young ladies? And he said they range from 19 to 35. And I was like, dude, that's younger than your kids and my kids. He was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm pursuing them, but those are the ones that are hitting on me. And I said, so what do you think your worth is to them? And he said, well, I'll be honest with you. I got a cool personality. I'm smooth. You know, it's one of those brothers that you got like a old cat with a tough body. I'll be complimenting him all the time. And he got a great retirement check. So he believes that it's his personality, because he's really, easygoing. And but he thinks the biggest factor is his financial situation, because the young women don't have, if they get an older man, they ain't got to worry about security. So that's what I see when I think about a male. And when I think about a mature woman and what her worth is, I look at what she's, if she's successful in her life. And I know y'all don't want to be talking about credit scores, but credit scores all come in. That doesn't mean she's a bad person if she has some fumbles. It just means that she at one time had a problem paying her bills for some other reason. And if you get to know that woman, you can find out what those reasons are. And the same thing goes for a man if he has a bad credit score. Unfortunately, the men that I talk to, I guess if they can afford that 24-hour gym membership, they ain't they wouldn't too bad off, I guess. So, but that's what I look at when I look at when I look at
But you know
when
what, Terry?
I
You know
look
what? I
at.
think. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I guess there was a little delay there. I thought you were. I think a lot of times when we're talking about worth like we are now, I think we're talking, or we
Mm-hmm.
think about the outward appearance, or the outward disposition, or what we can see, what meets the eye, when worth is
Mm-hmm.
more of what's internal, or what's inside of us. So we can look at somebody and think, oh, they may be worth, their worth may be this or that, because what we're seeing on the outside, when
He or her.
maybe things are amuck at home, or maybe things aren't quite like they look like they are. So that's just a
Okay.
thought that I had.
Terry, I'm gonna put a different spin on it, man. You said the mature
No, no,
woman.
that's perfectly fine. I'll answer.
No,
Okay,
it's not.
go ahead.
I'm just saying, I'm just gonna put a different spin on it. You talked about the mature woman, and I read an article
Mm-hmm.
today, earlier this morning. I think I read an article. My wife and I had an engagement to go to, and I read this article about this young girl, um, Dorothy Jean Tillman. At the age of 14, she had attained an associate's degree, a bachelor's
Mm-hmm.
degree, and a master's degree at age 14. At age 17, she had acquired her doctoral degree. That's a
Mm-hmm.
sharp young lady, man. And I don't. She's from Chicago, and it may be the same. I don't know if it's the same young girl that did the opening speech for President. I don't think it was her. For
Obama.
Biden. Yeah, Obama. That young lady was, I mean, just the future is bright for that young girl. And I know for me, man, education wasn't no key at 14, bro. I'm playing football,
Hmm.
throwing rocks at girls, all of that. Didn't have no kind of when I got in college, I wasn't striving for a master's degree or doctoral degree
Hmm.
or nothing like that. That just tells you
Hmm.
the mindset that they have. And you look at the leaders that has fallen, Martin Luther King, what he did at 40, Malcolm X, what he did at 40. And that's a pivotal age, man, when people could be out doing all kinds of things. That's great worth for the country, for them, and the race, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. We talking about the human race?
Yes, sir. That's the only race it is,
Uh,
the human race.
I couldn't
We've been
resist.
on
Go
aliens
ahead,
out
Denise.
there.
I really don't have a lot to add to it. I mean, uh, Vonda and Henry basically said, everything that, was
Mhm.
worth. Um, I don't really have much to add to it. It's just all the love, all characteristics, you know. I don't have
Mhm.
much to
Now,
add to that.
okay, now I know y'all got a comment on this. I watched this guy. I'm not gonna, call his name out because that'd probably be like I'm stealing his show or whatever. But he's on either TikTok or one of them, and he talks to people, to women. And one lady called in, and I'm not going to use the exact words he used because obviously we need to be in a nighttime show for me to do that. He asked a 37-year-old woman. She had three kids by three different fathers, and she said she wanted to get remarried and have another baby. And he asked her, wait a minute. You got three kids by three different daddies. What is your worth? What is the value that you bring into this man? And she said, love and respect. And then she said, coochie. I'm not just going to give my coochie to anybody. And then he broke it down really strange. He said, your cookies, that's what he called it, your cookies are stale. He says, why is a man going to chase you or pursue you or even want to be with you other than a fling if you already got three women, three children by three different men? You're on some type of assistance. And then what else did he? I'm trying to figure it all. I'm trying to get it all. And then he said, when he can find an older, mature woman with less issues or a younger woman less issues, then, and I'm quoting him, but I'm not going to say his name. He said that the lady was 5'4" and pushing 200 pounds. And he said, what would a man want to do with a woman like that? And she went ballistic on him. So he toned her down and he kept talking. So I want to know, first of all, this is me talking, not my commentaries or anything else. When I look at a woman, you know, there's always sex appeal, but there's always sex appeals in different size women. You know, you could be a big girl, but if you got your thing going on and you looking good and sexy, then that's all that matters. And sexy is not everybody's same flavor. Mine might be skinny. Another guy may be big. Somebody else might. It doesn't matter. That's your sexy. And I think when he was talking to this lady, he shouldn't have been so blunt and said that. Because there's men out there that got three different babies mamas. And they might want to get with her and have another baby and marry her and live happily ever after. You can't just shoot her worth down because she did that. Now my question to the ladies, what would you say to that person on his own show to let him know that what you believe that lady's worth was?
Well, I don't think that he
Mhm.
should be so judgmental. I mean,
Right.
people have. She had three kids by three different men. I don't think
Mhm.
that's something that people should put a stigma on for her. Um,
Okay.
you never know the situation. Um, you don't judge people like that. Her worth is just as good as anybody else's worth.
That is true.
In some people's eyes. So I don't believe that you should be, putting a judgmental. Sometimes people say, "Well, what are you saying? What you want your man to look like?" They say tall, dark, and handsome. All right. But I would say, as long as he's appealing to me, he don't have to appeal to
Mhm.
you. As long as he looks good to me, and we're together. But I would like somebody that's appealing to me, as long as I think he's nice looking.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And that commentator, I probably I have an idea who it was, but I guess that's neither here nor there. But
Hmm.
you know, he can't speak for all men. He cannot speak for all
That's true.
men. So I think that a person like that has a show like that, they get some kind of satisfaction out of making other people, especially women, feel bad about themselves. For whatever reason, I guess he gets off on that. That's not cool. But like Denise said, to each his own. You have skinny men that love big women, or plus
Mhm.
size women. You have plus size men that love skinny women or thin women. So it's all about what you want and what appeals to you. So nobody can tell you, you know, nobody can choose somebody for someone else. And I think
I,
that's way out of line.
I agree
I
with
agree
you.
with you.
I agree with you 100%. Um, and that's when you go back to knowing that person and get to understand that person. I don't care what size she is. Like Shanna said, you ain't a lady unless you're 180. I can't get in unless you're 210. You
Henry oughta got them rhymes. But hold on a second. I want to say hi to Sydney Mitchell. My cousin Kevin's on. What's up, Mr. Brooks? He said hello to everybody.
Hey,
Valencia said that
Yeah.
doesn't work. And Laura said something about what is the question. So I hope we already got to the question. And I think Laura said heart matters in character. It's the heart and the character that really matters in a person. I think,
exactly.
in my opinion of that guy, I stuff, because then it got harsh. Uh, People make mistakes. Now, granted, she had three babies on assistance by three different babies' daddy. That was a bad evaluation of a person. I don't know if that was part of their skit or whatever, but that was a bad evaluation because, first of all, let's be for real. If that was Holly Berry and she had three different daddies and she still looked fine, she'd definitely get another baby daddies. I'm just saying what it is. So I don't know what she looked like. I don't know what her financial status was. Uh, but I do know that 5'4" and 170 or 200 pounds even today, with all the big booties and flat bellies and big breasts that they walk around in the gym with, I don't know what they feed them today, but 200 pounds at 5'4" ain't too bad from them girls I see in the gym. Lord Jesus, Henry. Woo!
Mhm.
I know you can't look, but I'll look for you. I'll take a picture. But I think when you listen to a man criticize, well, hold on a sec. Producer, you want to
Uh-uh.
give us commercial break? Oh, she might be cooking. I'll just do it. Thanks for tuning in to TAAN TV, the African American Network. We have a local feel with a global reach. You watching Out of Bounds with T Rex and the crew. And we're talking about worth. Everybody's worth, personality worth. So
And
back to that. I just think that if you ask the same man that question, and another party said I don't know if I said it. He said that a guy could get an older woman that in less situation or a younger woman. And I talked to maybe 7 or 8 guys in the gym, and they were in their mid mid 20s to mid 30s, and they said they like dating older women because they don't have to go through all that nonsense. So I think it's either way, when you start looking at a person's
Mm.
character, and that's what I think. Laura said looks
And
change, so you need to have a foundation that is not based on looks. Unfortunately, Laura, that's a very true statement, but I have to say, Henry, you correct me. I'm going to speak for men. I think men are 90% visual. You know, what would you say, Henry? You had to put a percentage on your frat brothers.
Oh
What would
God.
you say?
I
Oh.
said, I done aged better with time, brother. I'm getting all the time. It's
I'm,
ooh, man.
I'm just saying. I mean, I didn't want to come on here and be vicious and act crazy because I started to. Don't get me wrong, because I figured, we'd have more common people chiming in, cussing at me and stuff, and I like that. But on a serious note like this, I didn't want my lady friends thinking that I was being disrespectful. Because like I said before, I don't care if you 5'4", 5'1", 120, or 5'1", 250. If your 250 is put in the right area and you carrying it well, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And if you make it shake right, okay, I didn't say that on TV, but yeah.
Oh gosh.
It's
here
a
we go.
heart, brother. It's a heart. That's the matters. It's a
Anyway,
heart. 'Cause
anyway,
Yeah.
that 5'1", 250 person, man, could have you treated like a king. You know what I'm saying? And that six
Mhm.
foot
that,
one, 115, 120 could make your life a holy hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, she tried my
Absolutely.
side. She be trying to beat me on the head, so I understand. But okay, let's get off that. That's boring. The real thing I want to talk about is Puff Daddy. What do y'all think about Puff
I knew that was coming.
Daddy?
Why you whispering?
what What do
It's
y'all think
P
about
Diddy
that?
now. It's P Diddy now.
P
Okay,
Diddy.
Don't
P
ask me why
Diddy.
he changed. Why did he change from Puff to P Diddy? Does anybody know that?
Maybe P Diddy's
Why
a
did he
little more
change?
I
harsh.
forgot what it was.
Puff make you a little fluffy. Puff make him fluffy. P make him hard.
Well, he's
Maybe I don't know.
about to. Yeah, he look like a Puff now, for real. Go ahead.
You might could reach out to TD and he can tell you.
I am not going there with you.
Oh.
Woo. I ain't gonna talk about
Mm-mm.
Mr. him anyway. The thing that I thought about it was all these years he said he didn't do it. Then we see the tape and he did do it. Now I'm a man, and if I was rich, I'd have lied too. I just want y'all to know. I want y'all to put it out there. I want y'all to know I would have lied too. Okay.
Your sins
So
will
now we
find
got
you out.
Yeah, the skeletons.
Right.
I'd have got on CNN, Fox News, NBC, whatever, and I'd have said it wasn't me. That's what I'd have said.
Right.
I lied till they caught me.
And then they
Nice
catch your tail.
Yeah.
Well,
Somebody
I
had that
mean,
video. Somebody been holding on to that video, right? They've been
somebody
holding
got
on to
paid.
that footage because that was 2016. That
Right.
was what? 8 years ago, nearly.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
And I have to
That
admit,
person that told they knew
Go
it was coming up. They knew that he was probably doing the same thing, and they was holding on to that because they knew it was going to come out in the open sooner or later.
you imagine what they paid for that video to get from him.
Wow.
Mm.
So,
Wow.
and my whole thing on
Generational wealth.
Right.
yeah, only
Right.
the only thing I gotta say about Mr. P. Diddy, damn, I mean, only thing he did that's smart, he had cameras everywhere. So if he go down, I'm sure he's got a lot more people going down than just him. What do y'all think about P. Diddy out there, people? Did y'all hear the news? I'm trying to get Facebook to come in and tell me what they didn't heard. They ain't saying nothing. Everybody's quiet today. Lord,
Well,
nobody's
Everybody
really
is.
saying. Well,
I'm not on
they
my
might be
Facebook
still.
wouldn't work. My Facebook
They
wouldn't
still
work today.
a little happy from maybe Mother's Day last week. The daddies on here is like chilling because they don't want to say nothing more. When you talk about a woman's worth or a man's worth, it's crazy. That can
right.
start a whole
They
conversation.
attended my party last night and they tired.
Yeah, I saw your pink house shoes. I thought P Diddy was up in there. You saw them pink house shoes. Did you
Mm-mm.
did you see a picture with them pink house shoes and old hot shorts on? You notice
No
I said
comment.
hot shorts.
No
You know,
comment.
I always like I don't just like Denise's pictures. I don't like nothing. Denise pictures I give love to. She got them little shorts on. I want y'all to know.
Yeah.
Kentucky
All
Fried
right, P.
Chicken ain't got
Diddy.
nothing on her leg. Look, I ain't got that much money. And first of all, if y'all broke away and ran from me or Henry, you just gone.
Gone. Gone. Gone.
And
But it was
my whole thing is when he was assaulting her, I don't want to say beating her, but assaulting her.
well,
Well, he was
Just-
beating her.
call it
Okay.
what it is.
You call
Okay.
well, he beat her.
I
But the
know
question
you
I
want to
got
be
is,
politically correct. Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
how in the hell did his towel stay on?
I wanted to know that it must have been one of those Velcro one. It had to be one of those wraparounds because
Probably
no
like
way,
Velcro.
no
the
way,
shower to
no
the-
way it stayed up like that.
Yeah, I
No
can't
way.
walk from my shower to my dresser to get some
Right.
underwear, and my towel's falling off.
It's a
I don't know.
Velcro.
I mean, the run
You know,
down
they
the
got your
hall
special
and punch
towel.
you.
They got those special
a
towels,
lot
celebrity
thinner than me.
towels.
Yeah, he's a lot thinner than me. So he was running down the hall. He was moving.
Celebrity
I don't
towels.
know. But all I can say is this, and I'm gonna take my glasses off and say this. If I was chasing a woman down the hall, 2 or 3 steps later, my towel would have failed. And another 2 or 3 steps later, I'd have been out of breath. So she'd have got away. Or she probably would have beat me up. So I don't understand why, but serious notes, I don't understand why. Well, I understand why. Because all the other stuff that came out about, that type of atmosphere. And I just want to know, I guess when you got all that money, it's power over people. Would y'all say that?
Oh, there's
Yeah, I
no
can see
doubt
that.
about that.
They wanted to be power over people, but in the end, but go ahead. That's
I don't
That's-
know.
that's-
yeah, you can make a lot of things disappear. You can make a lot of people disappear. You can make a lot of things happen when you have money.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I got 50 cents. What can I make disappear?
Ain't nobody giving you 10 cents.
50 cents.
All right,
You
all right,
can't
really,
buy a pack
really.
of bubble gum. A pack
Really,
of gum.
really, I got $1.50. I got $1.50. I found 4 quarters with the mother of 2 quarters, so I got $1.50. I cannot make anything go away. That's like almost 100. That's almost 100 pennies, 150 pennies.
Go buy a Happy Meal.
You can't even do that.
You can't do that now. So, but no, in all seriousness, I think all the things that people do with money and doing the things that they do. I mean, I said this on an earlier show we was doing. Me and my cousin Billy in Hopkinsville, we decided that we couldn't run through women like when we was 19, 18 and 19, because after you had so many, what else could you turn to? And so I'm assuming with the rich men, they ran through so many women, is either children or hostile or men that they go through. This Puff Daddy stuff is not just brought up a lot. They talking about what possibly could happen to people like Tevin Campbell. One guy said stuff like that happened to Prince and all them guys. I do not know. I'm just saying what was being pushed on the internet. And I know Harvey Weinstein had his own island, and one of the presidents used to kick it down there, and that came out in the Stormy Daniels trial. We won't call his name out. And so I'm thinking pretty sure that people with money are probably real freaky. What y'all think? I mean, Henry got $2. Henry might be freaky with $2. I only got $1.50.
I got $1 for the jukebox, and I got $1 for the bus ride home. The last $2, brother.
My last $2.
That's all I got. But man, I just looked at the video. I hadn't seen it. I just looked at it. That is horrible, man. That is horrible.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It
And
is. It
It is.
really is.
you don't do that. You don't do that. You let that go. No man should put his hands on a woman at all because he's bigger, stronger than a woman, man. And don't if it comes to that, just leave. Let her go or you leave. That's
Right.
worth that.
Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. I was gonna
And
say
then
something funny.
he had her doing like sexual. He had her doing sexual favors. While with other men and while he watched and stuff like that and all that.
You know, I mean, I know I'm a pretty liberal thinking guy, but I just don't know if I can sit there and watch my girl get with somebody has no feelings for her, just doing what he do. Just
Right.
Just because he's evil.
you know.
That's
That's the
evil.
devil.
But I think when you don't have a moral
That's a
compass,
sickness, man. That's a
It,
sickness.
it
I
Yeah.
is. You're right,
yeah,
Henry. Yes.
you know, it's wrong. No man should do that to a woman. I know no matter what we say, it's happening probably right now and it's going to continue to
Oh
happen.
yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh, every
I
day.
just, my initial thing, I just was wondering, you know, for ladies like that have the freedom to leave, and we'll call them in a free country, because some countries they just can't leave, they just stuck. They
Right.
try to run the door, they get shot. So we understand that. But we're talking about the free countries where you can go
Yeah.
to the police and talk about it or whatever. So I don't think it is. Now Valencia said cash can buy distractions, not happiness. They're miserable within, control freaks. That is
Exactly.
Yeah.
possibly it.
Did
That's
did he
possibly it.
not did he not and that's so true, Valencia. Did he not flee to another country where where they don't do extradition so he won't be extradited back to the United States? That's what I
I thought he was back in the
heard.
States.
Oh,
I mean,
okay. Maybe that wasn't true, but
He was on
that's what I
vacation when
heard.
you talking about when they raided his house. He was on vacation then. He was on
No,
vacation.
no, this was beyond that. It was after that
It was after that.
I heard that he had gone to another country that doesn't, where he can't be extradited from. But
Well, it
I was
doesn't
saying
matter
maybe
where
that
he go
wasn't
because he ain't
true.
got enough cash to maintain him. Because I'm sure the first thing the government gonna do is freeze his assets.
Well, they say
Yeah.
he had taken his money out of the banks, so I don't know.
Oh well, now if he did all
I heard
that, he
that
knew what
last
was
week.
coming.
Well,
Only
no,
place he
this
can go
was
is Cuba.
yeah.
He can go to
Well,
Cuba. Cuba's the only country that's with a decent uh, atmosphere where he would
but
blend in with the people, if you know what I mean. If you go to
I know what you're
Russia
saying.
and China, all that, he ain't blended in. So I don't
Mm.
know. I mean, I've never been in that situation where I had enough money to be that ruthless. And I can't say I'm not just going to put the finger on P Diddy. It goes all the way back to kings, rich people that's been doing that for years, and it's got to be a power trip. It has to be a power trip. I think it's a shame.
He
I
has
think
to
it's a
be a
shame.
narcissist. He really
Yeah,
does have to be.
I mean, just to flip the conversation, I was reading Quasi Digest, and these group of people, they were European Americans, was talking about why do African Americans need reparation. And one of them was really intelligent. He said they already got welfare, they already get free housing, they always get food stamps, much more than they want for free. And I started to put a reply in there, and my reply would have been, no matter how many people, black people, are on welfare, unfortunately, there's still more white people because there's more poor white people, period. So I don't understand. I think the media and everybody else, the reason why I brought that up is because I'm flowing into the media. I think the media has, and the government has subsidized people's their thoughts of what this is going on. Because when I asked the guys at the gym about this Diddy thing, the white dudes was like, well, she should have known better. She shouldn't have been up in there messing with these guys. They're thugs. And the brother was like, man, she was trying to get ahead and got caught up, you know.
Mhm.
Two things the same but totally different. And I understand, but I don't understand why we always say that. And to Henry, this is what one of the brothers at the gym, I ain't gonna call out his name, he was a noob, watched the show when you was talking about black on black crime. And he said he agrees with you to stop black on black crime. I'm just trying to get all these thoughts out while I can in case y'all want to conversate about it. And he said that we're not talking about black on black crime. We're talking about police on black crime. That's why Black Lives Matter, not black on black. Because no matter how many black on black crimes there are, they're still lower than white on white crimes and Latino white on white crimes. I mean, Latinos. We're at the bottom of the poll, even though we're the number one in the news. You know,
Mhm.
we're at the bottom of it, according to his statistics. I have no idea what the statistics is. I'm not looking at it, but
But
uh,
I was watching something on. Well, I was on TikTok, and I'm not going to tell you the guy's name that made this
mhm.
statement. But if you ever watch TikTok, you probably seen this guy before. Um, I think he's a complete idiot, but he said, you know, black people are kings and queens, but they're, so just say you got a whole country, you know, everybody can't be a king or a queen. So what was those other black people if they wasn't kings or queens? You know what I'm saying? So he make a good point in that fact because if they're not kings or kings, if they're not here, they here. So they working for or being enslaved. So
True.
uh, and that just makes some things that make you say as City Hall would say.
And I was in Bible study. You was in a meeting, and I didn't want to bring it up, but I did bring it up. TG was it TG or TD Jakes or whatever his name is. His little thing came out at Puff Daddy's now. It's out, and he's got a little video on one of those TikToks or something saying all he has to do is say a couple of Hail Marys and God will forgive him. And I was like, and if he meant it in his heart, and I'm thinking, but
That's not
I
even
don't
his
know, man.
doctrine. Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out why would you do something to a young woman like that, or an old woman, a woman. Period. I don't care what her age is,
Mm.
Who
as
you
long as
talking
she's a
about?
woman.
Who you talking about? You
So
talking about
I'm
TD?
back to P Diddy.
You,
Yeah,
you
I'm back
talking
to
about
P
TD
to the P
Snakes?
Diddy.
Oh,
TD.
I thought you said.
You talking about TD Snakes? TD Jakes? That who you
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Who said that about the Hail Marys? Because that's why I said that's not even his doctrine. Even about the Hail Mary. So P
I'm
Diddy
just saying
said
that's
that
what he's. I mean, if you see the video, I'm not.
he
I'm
knows
not
that's
making this
not
up.
right.
This is on the video, and so I just want people. I mean, we ain't got a lot of
I
comments
think
coming
what
in.
they're saying is if you ask God for forgiveness and you mean it from the bottom of your heart, uh, and God knows your heart, then you will be forgiven. I think that's what they were trying to say. I wasn't there to hear it, so that's
All
hard
I
to
can say,
believe. That's hard to believe because you got a guy that's done dirt. You just take a murderer. He done killed and killed
yeah.
and killed. But there's people like that in the Bible that has changed their lives around. But if God, and God God works mysterious in a mysterious way. So if he can change me, then he can change anybody.
Well, I think people can
You gotta
change.
want to change, though. You gotta
You gotta
want to
want
You
change.
to
got to want
change.
to change.
You gotta want
You gotta be.
And number
You
and
have to
number
submit
two,
yourself. If you
the Bible's been tampered with so much throughout
to.
history. Things missing books and so forth. I'm not debating the Bible. I'm just saying, and I know it's been translated into English to the English, and I think a lot of things been lost in translation and flipped around in translation, which I'm not going to go into. I proved one in Bible study. I did my study on it, and it was about slavery and how the Muslims, not the Muslims, the Mormons changed
Mhm.
one name to another to make the Bible say black people were supposed to be enslaved, and it wasn't black people. So we won't get into that. But I just think when you look at a person like TD Jakes or any other minister, I understand they're men and I understand they make mistakes. But to continue to hide, one guy, one minister, I love him to death. I saw him; he was caught giving a lady oral sex, and he didn't come back with the standard minister thing like, I just want to say, I spoke to God about it, and God told me. He was like, I just like oral sex. I
Mm.
love it, and I'm not gonna stop. I can respect him more than I can somebody who said, you know, I was having sex with
Mm-hmm.
underage women, and then I'm sorry. You knew they were underage women. You knew
Mhm.
that. You
But
know,
you know, Terry, also too, man. You know, my wife and I, we uh, we won a free trip on Carnival. I told my wife we ain't going because they got us like that 400 years ago to get us on that flight.
So fun.
Henry Henry can come up with the best things at the best time. So all I can say, everybody, our time is about up. I know we went on 4 or 5 different things. I had so much on my mind, and I was talking to people about it. And I'm sorry I was and I'm sure everybody needs to understand whatever our topic gonna be next week. Come on back, because I'm gonna give it to you hard, and you can cuss at me and fuss at me like you normally do to make your day better. And but as far as I'm concerned, these two topics was worth. I thought worth was a real good question because we spoke of it before, and it bothered me because I didn't understand what Vonda and Denise was talking about worth. So I had to do some research. And when I looked at worth, there's a dictionary, and then I started speaking to women about their worth. And I think for me, a woman's worth is what she provides. It's not necessarily mean she has to make a lot of money. If there's a two income home and she's taking care of the family and the kids and work, then she has 2 jobs. And I understand I'm one of those guys, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I was probably the wrong person to understand it at that time, but I understand it now. When you work a hard job like I did, the railroad and the military, when you come home, you want to relax and you can't pitch in. And I think once I understood what they do as far as women, I think men, if you're not pitching in when you go home with your woman to clean the house, help raise the children, I'm not going to ask you to cook and wash clothes, because if I did that, I'd be lying to you. But I because I can't do that. I can't cook or wash clothes. Once I ruined like a pair of $125 slacks. She didn't like that too well, so I don't do that no more. But the thing I was trying to say is that's how I see it, and I think that we as men, we we want respect, but I think you have to earn it. And I say that for women too. You know, just because you sit at home all day and you say you clean the house and you fuss and complain when your man come home and the house is still dirty, dinner's not ready. Those are the people that need to check themselves, not the people who are pitching in and doing everything. That's what their worth is for. So I want to say thank you to Vonda and Denise and even Henry for having that put on my mind, and I did the research to find it out. And I want to say thank you because I found out that as I look back to my cheating days, I did a lot of things I shouldn't have done. I can't go back and say I'm sorry, but I have stopped doing those things, trying to be a better person. Not that I am. I'm not TD Jakes. I'm not going to call God and say, give me a couple of Hail Marys. I just quit. And I think if you're a good person, that's what you do. You quit. You don't do that kind of crap. Puff Daddy, P. Diddy gonna be Puff Daddy again if you understand what I mean. Puff Daddy. So when he go to the joint, unless he
Oh
go do
boy.
like you did, like Suge did, buy some protection. But I don't. To the young men out there who think that was cool or whatever, just think if that was your sister, your daughter, or your mother, would you think that was cool? With that being said, uh, anybody got anything to say so I can shut up so we before we go?
Well, man, I have seen uh, my wife's job. You know, I don't want it. I don't want it. The things that she's done to raise two children. Now, granted, I had a part in that as well. But man, I've seen her job, and I hats off to her. Because that's not an easy job for her to go out and work a job, then come home and take care of the house. That's hard, my brother. That's hard. So,
There you are.
and the house is your castle. But I like to say, everybody, stay woke out there in TAAN TV land. Stay woke. Be aware of your surroundings, and man, just be the best person that you can be in any endeavor that you take on. Peace out.
Vonda?
Well, to women and men, when we're talking about worth, it's the level that you deserve to be valued at. And you know that, only you know that. Um, so within yourself, whether someone values you or devalues you, you know within yourself what you're worth. So it's all about in here. That's it for me. Have a great week.
Okay, Denise. Unless if you ain't gonna talk, you can get before your legs.
Yeah, if you see my legs on Facebook, but yeah, just know your worth. Men and women know your worth. Um, we were talking at church today. It was a Scholastic Sunday, and we were giving away scholarships today. And
Awesome.
the pastor was just telling some of the young women there, just know your worth. When you go out to school, a lot of them, going to get ready to go to college. Just
Mm-hmm.
know your worth. You're always going to be worth something. Don't never let anyone tell you your worth. You know your worth, and stick to that. Don't let anybody guide you any type of way or any different direction or whatever. Do what you do. Stay focused. Know yourself, because you know yourself. You know what you're worth. So,
Mhm.
That is true.
That's
Mine is
awesome.
for those ladies out there with a high body count.
uh,
We appreciate you because you're the ones that teaches the men how they supposed to please a woman. Now, with that being said, you're gonna run across a bunch of idiots. Don't tell them your body count. They don't. That's none of their damn business. You understand? That's your mistakes or your adventure, and you keep it to yourself. You ain't got to tell them. Tell them like I do. I only got one, maybe two.
don't tell
If
them.
you make
Don't tell them. Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
okay. So I was lying, but you need to not tell them. You need to not tell them. And if you part of, if you're in an organization where you overlook people, be kind to the people below you. Don't abuse them sexually or mentally or whatever. Um,
Be
I've
kind.
seen it happen, so don't do it. And most important, come back next week because next week we're not going to be talking all nice and kind. We were still in that Mother's Day, syndrome. Next week we're going to talk about sex on the first date. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Oh, we've already. Oh my.
You should have sex on the first date.
Oh boy, we've talked about that before.
I know. I was
Yes.
just asking. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. Val, Laura, my cousin Kevin, my frat brother Cindy Mitchell, my frat brother. I got two of them on here: Emmanuel and Felicia and Henry. Oh, Henry's already there, and
Hey.
Laura. So I want to say thank you to all y'all for watching. I know we normally have a
Thank
better show,
you.
and Laura said this. I am. I don't know what she said, but she said something. So, with that being said, producer, run the commercial to take us away.